The Digimon franchise is home to hundreds of Digimon, but recently something I've been fascinated with are the digital lifeforms that coexist alongside Digimon. We'll list my top 10 independent digital lifeforms separately another time, but suggested by Digidestined Channel Member Knight12, today I'll be talking about the digital lifeforms that act as companions to existing Digimon, the sentient creatures that often go unlisted or forgotten in their relevant media, as I list my top 10 Digimon companions. What is up everybody and welcome back to another video. We're on the last push to 20,000 subscribers, and you know I hate that fake YouTube hype culture, but whenever I ask, people subscribe. It's definitely worth asking. So please do hit the like and subscribe buttons, it really does help the channel grow, and you can unsub at any point if you decide that I'm a no good sumbitch. And be warned, this video does have minor spoilers for Digimon Adventure 2020 pertaining specifically to evolutions. I'm not going to do any major character spoilers, and without further ado, let's get to number 10. In at number 10 is Fujitsumon, and honestly I'm surprised it even counts as its own digital lifeform, but it does. According to Octomon's profile, Fujitsumon is a tiny shellfish Digimon that clings to the pot Octomon wears on its head. These Fujitsumon develop their senses, and it is thought that they have formed a symbiotic relationship so that if they sense danger, they inform Octomon. That's insane to me. I've seen Octomon in Digimon Adventure 02 and not even considered that Fujitsumon might be a whole other entity. Fascinating. Next is Evilville, and no, that is not a town where Dr. Evil lives. It's the name given to the sentient attack that Neovamdamon has in Digimon Cross Wars, the Evil Death General, and the Seven Kingdoms. I'm honestly surprised this even got a name or is counted as a lifeform in its own right, but I love the idea of Neovamdamon manifesting these sentient creatures to do his bidding and attack for him. It reminds me of the two sentient demon arms in The Darkness, if any single human being on the planet remembers that game. And in at number 8 we have Surta and Jormungand. These are the shadowy entities that Olegmon keeps in his shoulder, primarily in his appearance in Digimon Cross Wars, but he has also showed up recently in Digimon Adventure 2020. I put these on the list above Evilville simply because they have more sentience and are of more importance to a significant plot of an episode of Cross Wars, but they are very similar in the fact that they're basically glorified attacks. I do however like their attacks or powers in particular. Surta has Dreams Come True, which sounds like a stand name, in which it asks for the opponent's wishes and pretends to grant them, but avoids actually granting them using a convenient interpretation from Olegmon. And if the opponent refuses the wish, it keeps on attacking regardless. Then Jormungand has his Age of Discovery attack, which sends its opponents to Jotunheim, which is said to be the end of the world. Though in Norse mythology, Jotunheim is the realm of the giants. Marvel fans will probably know that better as the realm where Tom Hiddleston's bio-dad lives. Number 7 is Chibi Kiwimon. Now, you may be forgiven looking at Kiwimon's art and by the name Chibi Kiwimon that these companions are perhaps rookies or even in training Digimon, but no, they are considered Digimon in their own right, but they only appear in art and when Kiwimon does its little pecker attack. No comments about me loving or having a little pecker, thank you in advance. But it has never been assigned a level or typing/attributes of its own. Despite that, it does have a lot of appearances compared to other companions on this list, appearing alongside Kiwimon in Digimon Adventure and 02, as well as Digimon World 3, Digimon Next, and some minor V-Pet appearances. It's the little Kiwi that could. Kinda like Peter Jackson. And for 6 we have Haguramon. Much like Chibi Kiwimon, Haguramon is a companion Digimon to another Digimon, Haguramon X. Now, why is this in particular higher than Chibi Kiwimon when it's a very similar style? Its name just means Kid Haguramon, like how Chibi Kiwimon means Small Kiwimon, and it also is primarily used as an attack by Haguramon X. Because look at its little face, it's so cute! Haguramon is awesome to me. It being designated a Digimon in its own right while attached to an X antibody is really cool, even if I don't love Haguramon X. And it's also kind of funny we have this very Kling-Klang looking design that came out in 2004, 6 years before Pokemon Black and White. I absolutely abhor the Pokemon versus Digimon argument because they are cartoons for children in the same genre. But if you have one of those huge Pokemon fan friends who can't help but say that Digimon copied Pokemon, show them Haguramon and Haguramon X. And then they'll probably say that it ripped off Magneton. We can't get any respect on these streets, I swear.
I tell you, I don't get no respect.
Anyway, Haguramon is adorable, and I wish it was an in-training for Haguramon in its own right. I think it would be amazing to fill the slot that Missymon or Kapurimon currently take in that evolution line. Just a very good boy. Number 5 is Ammon and Umon. These, much like Evilville and Sirta and Jormungand, are ostensibly attacks, but for the Holy Digimon and Patamon Megaform, Godramon, and therefore so much cooler. Ammon and Umon are actually dragons sealed within Godramon. Ammon is Ammon of the Crimson Flame and governs over destruction, and Umon is Umon of the Blue Lightning and governs over regeneration. Unfortunately, we didn't get a better look at them during Godramon's appearance in Digimon Adventure 2020 recently, but I do love the idea that Godramon is so ancient and powerful that it is used to seal other powerful creatures, which it manifests as basically energy auras for its fists, especially when you consider that in Egyptian mythology, Ammon was revered as the king of the gods. And at number 4 is Volivore.
Volley.
And Zerducken. Sounds like Turducken.
Zerdrücken.
Volley is the companion for Lady Devimon X, and Zerducken is the creature on her left arm. It's me, Future Khan. Yes, he's made a mistake again. He keeps saying Zerducken. It's Zerdrucken. He's a dumb Welshman. Just give him a pass, man, alright? Pascan, he was under a lot of stress that day. Pascan keeps saying Zerducken. It's Zerdrucken. Back to the video. Volley means flying or stolen in French, and Zerducken means crush. They act in synergy for attacks and are mentioned on her Digimon reference book listing. Hilariously, the machine translation calls Volivore, and I'm not making a vor joke or reference on my Christian Minecraft video. Anyway, the reason these are listed so highly is I think they're kind of the best of everything we've seen so far. In the original Lady Devimon, we see a sort of prototype Volley that isn't made reference to in the Digimon reference book, so it's nice to see her ex-antibody form have it become a digital life form in its own regard. The same applies to Zerducken, that goes from just a spiked or clawed arm to a full-on named companion/weapon. Overall, one of my favourite ex-antibody designs also gets 2 phenomenal companions. You'd love to see it. Hinokamoi, the companion to Gankumon. And this ranks so highly because unlike Haguramon, which is small and without a level, or Ammon and Umon, who are energy creatures who aren't necessarily Digimon, Hinokamoi is specifically stated to be digivolving from a champion level Digimon while it is attached to Gankumon, in a sort of butterfly chrysalis process. This is insane to me. It's also interesting that Hinokamoi has a level and is a Digimon, but has never been given a Mon suffix to its name, one of few Digimon to share this honor. According to the Digimon reference book, Hinokamoi is emerging from Gankumon's body, is always there for Gankumon, and although no words escape from its lips, it gets involved without wasting its breath arguing. Hinokamoi is itself in the process of evolving from an adult, and it is said that when its power awakens, there couldn't exist any kind of Digimon to be recognized as a rival. That is a huge amount of power potential, and that's why I'm a little bit disappointed with where they went with Hinokamoi. It's never been shown to progress further to that unrivaled Digimon. Gankumon X Antibody, for instance, kind of absorbs Hinokamoi into its body, and while it does still exist as a separate entity, it's fully inside him and just provides a kind of aura rather than getting to flourish in its own Digimon form. So I think we're long overdue a Hinokamoi development, Bandai. Get on it. Number 2, the penultimate companion, is Bmoth, which is of course Beelzemon's bike from Digimon Tamers. I absolutely adored this idea, an idea I hadn't really considered before, of wild data that isn't a Digimon terrorizing the digital world. The concept of it forcing Digimon to become its rider is also really cool with the Metal Koromon appearance, and I also love how this wild stallion was defeated by Leomon and then eventually fully controlled by Beelzemon. It really combines that feeling of wild horses you see in westerns with an almost pristine, haunted vehicle vibe at the same time. It's also just iconic for Beelzemon's whole look. Him showing up on a big motorcycle sent his already high levels of cool into the fucking stratosphere. Outside of Digimon Tamers, Bmoth has been a strong companion for Beelzemon, appearing in everything from Digimon World 3 to Digimon Cross Wars and even the recent Cyber Sleuth and Rear Eyes games. Such a good boy. Maybe one day we'll see him show up alongside Macmon, the new full motorbike Digimon that appeared recently. And in at number 1, from the same season as Bmoth, and probably to no one's surprise, is the Arc, later known as Grani, the companion to Gallantmon in Digimon Tamers, and one of literally 2 Zero Arms, the other being Orochi from Frontier. Top 2 Zero Arms coming soon! Grani, more than just being an integral companion, is an integral plot point of Digimon Tamers. Its origin is the original D-Arc, the giant literal arc that was made to bring the Digimon Tamers home, and it's establishing a connection with Takato and Guilmon. I love that the arc feels like a one-and-done MacGuffin in its episode, but the fact that later on it is needed and reconstructed out of Chrome Digizoid and the Yugoth program to become a companion is such a cool unfolding of events. It reminds me a lot of the Soul Bird from Power Rangers Wild Force too, this kind of basic thing that becomes a flying companion and friend. And of course, Grani also lends its wings to Takato and Guilmon's biomerged form, Gallantmon, to create his Crimson mode. This was an insanely cool moment to me, the biomerged Mega bonding with Grani to go even further beyond to something stronger blew my mind. And it makes me wish retroactively that instead of blast mode with the toy gun, Beelzemon's mode change had involved Bmoth more closely. But regardless, Grani is a phenomenal companion that hooks not just into one character, but a huge chunk of the plot of Digimon Tamers, and I think it's rad as hell. Well, that's my list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. I genuinely love hearing from you guys, and it doesn't hurt. The comments really help the channel grow too. It's a perfect synergy. Hell, rank your own top 10 companions down in the comments while you're there if you want to. And again, huge thank you to Digidestined level channel member Knight12 for this suggestion. Remember, if you become a Digidestined channel member, one of the perks is you get to request directly videos for me to do. Some of the requests I've had from Digidestined have been insane, and I love fulfilling the requests. And speaking of, let's thank some channel members. My Digidestined level channel members: Anthony Bontomasi, Reese Williams, Triple D, Knight12, Andrew Sobel, Sad Uncle Callum, and Crimson Dragonslayer. Thank you so much, Digidestined. And the Tamers: Mew Will, The Blessed Rain, Errant Harpy, Emily, John Hawkins, Mike McNulty, and Theo Navarro. Thank you, Tamers, and to everyone in the Karn Club for supporting the channel with your hard-earned money, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.